Have people lost their minds? Oh my goodness. So I'm hearing lots and lots of talk of Donald Trump. Donald Trump is going to save us. Donald Trump, MAGA 2024, Trump 2024. He's the man, yada, 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 yada. I'm hearing all this talk, right? Especially from Republicans and unfortunately from low IQ black people. And I'm just curious, does everyone have a short memory? Because let's go down memory lane, because this is one of the reasons, of the many reasons, that I won't be voting for Donald Trump. First and foremost, the Republican Party is comprised of conservative Christians. That's who it is. Now, can you tell me what about Donald Trump is a conservative or a Christian? Because I'm at a loss of words here. This is the same man who cheated on his wife with a porn star as his wife was taking care of his children. This is the same man who has been found guilty of sexual abuse of a woman and had to pay her, I believe, what, $5 million. This is the same man. Okay, just so we're clear. This is the same individual who has brought in the alphabet to the Republican Party. It's gone so far where the GOP is now touting how they've gotten rid of the anti-LGBTQ rhetoric in their pamphlets. That's recent upon this recent CPAC. Now, if you're a Christian, you understand that within the scriptures, it talks about certain behaviors and certain practices that are seen as sinful. That's what it goes down to. Now, how does that live in the same room as far as what Donald Trump is doing and representing? It doesn't. It doesn't at all. What is happening to the party is no longer becoming the party, it's becoming Trump. That is what's happening. So the moment in time where you have walkaway movements, Brenda Straka is an avid, prominent homosexual. Rob Bushy Smith, avid, prominent homosexual. The Persistence, that dude, avid, prominent homosexual. We have, as far as Caitlyn Jenner, okay? That's a trans woman. We have Blair White, trans woman. And what that means is that they're a biological man who identifies as a woman. This is what comprises the Republican Party currently. This is what makes up the Conservative Party currently. Tell me what about those individuals and what they represent go in line with conservative and Christian values? You tell me, because I'm lost.
He's out of line, but he's right.
Someone who's talking about he will fight for the LGBTQ, and this is where we are.
I will do everything in my power to protect our LGBTQ citizens from the violence and oppression of a hateful foreign ideology. Believe me.
You can't talk about, I'm going to fight for the LGBTQ, right? And then fight against the LGBTQ when they're talking about trans rights and whatnot. You don't get to do that. You tell me the last time we had a Republican candidate talk about, hey, we need the Defense of Marriage Act back. We need to reestablish that marriage between a man and a woman. You tell me, has J.D. Vance talked about that? Has Trump talked about that? Ted Cruz? You name me, Marco Rubio? Tell me a Republican candidate that has talked about that. The party has completely been revamped. The party's been completely changed, and not for the better, according to what they stood for. Christians aren't for that. They see that as an abomination in the face of God, right? Christians understand marriage between a man and woman. No one, especially not Trump, is advocating for that. Let's go into freedoms, right? People want to say, oh, we're the party of freedom. Small government, big freedoms. That's what we want. We want the government out of this. You tell me, when it comes to Israel and Gaza and Palestine, what's going on? This is the same man who used Palestinian as an insult referring to Biden.
But as far as Israel and Hamas, Israel's the one that wants to go. He said the only one that wants to keep going is Hamas. Actually, Israel is the one, and you should let him go and let him finish the job. He doesn't want to do it. He's become like a Palestinian, but they don't like him because he's a very bad Palestinian. He's a weak one.
He believes that bootlicking for Israel is the ultimate good. This man is a bootlicker for Israel. He's not a bootlicker for Americans. Because when it comes to Israel versus America, he will always take Israel's side before America. Who does that benefit? Does that benefit Americans? No, it doesn't. So I'm surprised people are talking about, oh, he's all about freedom. No, he's not. Not at all. Let's get into freedom. Matter of fact, let's get into the First Amendment. This is the man that said, hey, we should shut down the protests.
When I'm president, we will not allow our colleges to be taken over by violent radicals. And if you come here from another country and try to bring jihadism or anti-Americanism or anti-Semitism to our campuses, we will immediately deport you. You'll be out of that school.
He wanted to curb your First Amendment due to offending Israel. Let's go even further. This is the man that made an executive order curtailing your First Amendment speech when regarding Israel. They want to label it anti-Semitism. Does that sound like freedom to you? Does that sound like someone who's going to be an advocate for free speech? Not to me. This is the same group of people that were promoting and touting the firing of the black woman at Harvard. Why? Because of free speech. They want to be able to call us any name in the book, N-word, it's all free speech. You talk about, hey, free Palestine, now all of a sudden it's anti-Semitic. Now all of a sudden that's not free speech, that's hate speech. Let's get even further. Second Amendment. We already covered the First Amendment. Let's go on to the Second Amendment. From what I know, what I used to know was that conservatives, Republicans, we were all for the Second Amendment, okay? The right to bear arms. And it can't be infringed, all right? Democrats want to take away our guns. Let's think about this. Who was the person that said, take their guns, then give them due process? Was it Biden? Was it the Democrats? No, it was Trump.
In the position
Or
of that
might
individual.
take the firearms first and then go to court, because that's another system. Because a lot of times by the time you go to court, it takes so long to go to court to get the due process procedures. I like taking the guns early, like in this crazy man's case that just took place in Florida. He had a lot of firearms. They saw everything. To go to court would have taken a long time. So you could do exactly what you're saying, but take the guns first, go through due process second.
That's what he said. He said, take their guns, then give them due process. Was there any outrage in the Republican? Absolutely none. He then compounded that assault on the Second Amendment by banning bump stocks, which has now been overturned as being unconstitutional. That's what Trump did. So for all you Second Amendment nuts, what happened? Does the Second Amendment not matter? Does it not shall be infringed? Does that no longer matter because it's Trump? This is what I'm talking about. Either you guys have a very short memory or you're hypocrites and you have no scruples. Let's go for the cherry on top. And that is him recently talking about, hey, he wants to make sure that officers are free from prosecution.
And we're going to rebuild our cities. We're going to bring them back like they used to be. We're going to make them safe places again. We're going to give our police their power back, and we're going to give them immunity from prosecution. So they're not prosecuted for doing their job.
What? Think about that. Is that freedom? Is that really an advocate for little government? No, that's an advocate for big government. That's what that is. That's an advocate for big government. Officers, state soldiers, when it comes to as far as freedom, let's go into the vaccine. Republicans always want to talk about the vaccine. F that vaccine, all this nonsense. This is a man who very much touts the vaccine. He thinks as far as operations, task force, speed force, whatever, was a good thing. He saw it as a positive. He promoted the vaccine. You should take it. So if you believe that that actually was harmful, why would you vote for someone who actually created something that was harmful and disseminated to American people? Why would you advocate for such a person? It doesn't make any sense. So either y'all aren't actual Republicans or conservatives, or this is a new Republican Party, which is what I said. And it was like, well, you guys don't, you're not advocating for anything that's Republican or conservative. This is a new party. You guys are liberal light. That's what that is. Y'all don't have a problem with the LGB. It's only with the T. You guys are liberal light. That is what's happening. And you're bringing in a bunch of people that are changing and corrupting the ideals and ideology of the party. That is what's happening. And rest assured, Trump is not the Republican Party. Those are not the same thing. Once Trump is out, they're going to go back to regular programming. That is what's going to happen. So all the people that they think are going to come in and be like, oh yeah, y'all going to get yeeted. Y'all going to get exiled. I just want people to understand this doesn't make any sense to me. And it shouldn't make any sense to you. Because either A, you have a short-term memory, or B, you're a hypocrite. It's as simple as that. It's gotten so bad that you have people wearing bandages on their ears at CPAC. If that's not cult-like behavior, I don't know what to tell you. So I just wanted to put this out here because I'm sick and tired of people saying, oh yeah, Second Amendment, free speech. And y'all are completely voting for someone who is completely antithetical to everything that you allegedly believe in. Everything that you allegedly are for. So you need to check yourself. Anyways, guys, that's the video. There is no either or here. Everything I said was facts. Now, if you just want to be a hypocrite and try to explain it away, go ahead. Just be a hypocrite. Just say, I'm a hypocrite. I'm going to vote for him anyway. But don't say that you're a Christian and God ordained him and all this other goofy stuff that I'm hearing. Oh, Second Amendment and free speech. And I don't want to hear any of this, okay? I don't want to hear any of this. We see what Zionism did to Kanye. We see what it did to Candace Owens. She got her wake-up call. But yet you're still advocating for someone who was clearly a bootlicker to Netanyahu. You're clearly advocating for someone who doesn't care about the Second Amendment. You're clearly advocating for someone who doesn't care about the freedom of speech. He doesn't care about any of those things. And it's unfortunate that it took this so long for me to see it. It's unfortunate it took so long for other people to see it. But that's what it is. It's just, there is no way to sugarcoat it. That's what it is. Now, if you happen to disagree, you're more than welcome to call me during Disagreement Day. Typically held Friday through Sunday. There'll be a number on screen. You call in, we do get out. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And all that fun stuff. Till next time, guys, be amazing. He wanted to curb your First Amendment